Early on in my theological development, I read Rudolph Otto's book, Das Heilige, published in English as The Idea of the Holy. It made me aware of how my own Adventist religion was overly irrational and largely missed the element of the numinous, to which Otto referred as the mysterium, tremendum, and fascinans. The Adventist fear of making religion too emotional and of somehow introducing ideas and forms that are perceived as Catholics and thus may lead us on a treacherous path towards Babylon, risks to rob the worshippers of the touch of the sacred. The fact that several of the Christian feasts are linked with the Sunday is no doubt one of the reasons why Adventists have been reticent in adopting the common Christian tradition of the liturgical year. Gradually, Christmas services have been more accepted in Adventist churches in many parts of the world. But Easter and other important days in the Christian calendar are still, in my opinion, highly underrated. In making Adventist worship truly focused on the worth of our Creator and Redeemer, with symbols and rituals that not only or primarily speak to the mind. I'll start again. In making Adventist worship truly focused on the worth of our Creator and Redeemer, with symbols and rituals that not only or even primarily speak to the mind, but very definitely also to the heart. Adventists must shed the fear of introducing new elements in their liturgy. Many of these elements are indeed Catholic, but in that sense that they belong to the whole of Christianity and thus also to the Adventist Church. I wonder, will there ever be a time when we can look at non-Adventists, even Roman Catholic worship, without immediately searching for what we do not like or what we regard as unbiblical, but rather with an appreciation of what is beautiful and might also enrich Adventist worship? Let me conclude. Let's not deny the major differences that separate Protestants, and in particular, Seventh-day Adventists from Roman Catholics. However, let us, when describing these differences, never forget the basic beliefs and traditions that we have in common. Let us make a major effort to stop misrepresenting other Christian denominations, including the Catholic Church. I hope my book can contribute to this process. Perhaps we can at some future point in time decide that we must actually ask for forgiveness for the many things, for the many times we have accused Catholic believers and in particular the Catholic Church because of ignorance or in ways that were definitely unchristian. Too often Adventist authors and preachers have been and still are biased and prejudiced. Admittedly, in the past, anti-Catholic sentiments were not a uniquely Adventist phenomenon, but times have changed. Together, we must now face the challenge of bringing the gospel to an increasingly secular and non-Christian world. I pray that the Seventh-day Adventist Church will be able to retain its identity, but will no longer see other Christian churches including the Catholic Church, primarily as enemies, but rather as allies in the fulfillment of the Gospel Commission. And let us, in the process, try to learn from each other and be inspired by the other as we go about our sacred task.